did a continuing ed opportunity last year, and she learned about this strategy for planting community groups, what the authors call them instead of small groups. Grab, gather, and grow. The authors are a clergy couple. They're both ordained United Methodist ministers. They had a new church start in Warner Robins, Georgia. And the way this works is they put out materials for people to start small groups. 2-3 times a year they have a church-wide study. And they will set out on the table the study guide and the DVD. And just invite people to take it. Now, the idea is they take the resource and then they gather a group of people together to do the study. It could be people they know from church, it can also be people they know from the neighborhood or from their workplace. You might invite your, whoever you would invite to your kid's birthday party, invite the parents from that group. So you gather your own group. It's grab, gather, and grow. So the idea is that people grow in these community groups, and the church grows as well. Because when they're doing a church-wide study, the preaching themes are aligned with what you do in the small group study. So it's a wonderful opportunity if you have people in your group who aren't going to church anywhere. You say, well, why don't you come to our church and hear what our pastor is going to say about this topic this week? This is a strategy. Well, this is very foreign to most pastors, myself included. Because here's how I've done it in the past. I was privileged to be part of a new church start up in the Jacksonville area. And small groups, I knew I wanted this to be at the core of the church, so I identified people who I thought would be good small group leaders. And I and some other folks in the church, and we invited them. I did a training session, which we only ever did that once. Because as it turns out, if you're ever in a group, you know enough to do the group. You don't have to go to seminary. In fact, these days the teaching is done by DVD. It's like 10 minutes DVD, and then you're just tossing around questions in the group as you read through Scripture. Very different back in the dark ages. 30 years ago, we had this thing called VHS tape. This but really wasn't very common for, I don't know if anybody was doing it, a Bible study with a video component. But now there's scads of these, many of which are quite good. So, grab these people together, train them up, and then we would actually have sign-up sheets for people. We did this last fall. We did the Change the World series. Hey, if you want to be in a group, sign up. A lot of control in this. One of the reasons pastors like control here is we're somewhat fearful. Like if you just make a blanket invitation, what if the sketchy guy in the congregation wants to lead a group? Mr. Sketchy? You don't know who that is in our congregation. It might be you. No. Well, Jennifer Coward, who wrote this book, they talk about this. And they said, no. It's fine if Mr. Sketchy wants to lead a group. So in their church, what happened was Mr. Sketchy did take the study guide and the DVD, and he ended up inviting 3 or 4 of his sketchy friends to be in a group. This is a big win for the kingdom. Can I get an amen? Yeah, I mean, everybody. Tax collector. Now there's Mr. Sketchy. Right? But Jesus says, no, come on, follow me. Grab, gather, grow. It's good to have small group Bible studies, people who are already in the church. That really is a wonderful thing. But I find it exciting. And in fact, I grow more when one or more people in the group that I'm in are either new Christians or are just checking out who Jesus is. Because these are the people who will ask really hard and insightful questions about the thing that you're studying, the Bible passage that you're studying. So it always sharpens me up when I'm blessed to have people in this group. And people need this. I was sharing with the first service about a woman that, when some of you will know Jack Arabino. Jack sings in the praise choir. I'm in a group with Jack, and he had asked us to be praying for a neighbor of his who really needed Jesus. And so we were praying for her, and not too many weeks later, Jack says, hey, my neighbor's become a Christian. You know, he has shared the gospel, the good news with her, and she's, on board. Which, hallelujah. I think that'd be a good thing to clap for right here. Because, we have a party up there. We should have a party down here. Well, now I'm praying for this woman still, because she really needs to get in a group, of other believers who are going to be studying the Bible with her. Jack tells me that she did get connected with AA, which she needs, and really you can grow up. There's a spirituality about 12-step groups that I really love. But, of course, she now knows the higher power, Jesus. And so, in addition to AA, which will serve her well, she ought to be in a group. And we're the people that can create groups for this woman to be part of. Are you with me on this? I sense that you are. I sense that you are. One of the things that is true about those call stories, everybody had to leave something behind to follow Jesus. Tax collector, he left his toll booth and followed Jesus. Those fishermen, they left their nets and boats, just left them and went to fish for people with Jesus. If we're going to do the grab, gather, grow thing, if you're sensing, gee, I think maybe Jesus is calling me to take one of these resources and consider running it, you will have to leave something behind. You won't have to quit your day job. But I think the thing we have to leave behind is our comfort zone. I think about it. Okay, well, grabbing the resource, that's one thing. But what is this about, me leading the group? It's like, I'm no Bible scholar. Well, you may have to leave behind your insecurity about that and just remember the story. Jesus calls, whomever Jesus calls. You don't have to be qualified, just available and willing. Maybe for you, it's like, well, who would I invite? I can't. My workplace, nobody ever talks about any spiritual things. Well, you don't leave your comfort zone enough to be able to invite somebody that you've never even talked with about Jesus. You don't even know. Do they even go to church? Do they have any connection at all in the background? That's a comfort zone. You probably have to leave. Some of you, it's like, well, I got them every night, schedule or every afternoon or morning or whenever you might do one. You're going to have to leave that behind. And maybe there's somebody who thinks, how clean would my house have to be in order to invite people over, for Bible study? The answer is not all that clean. Just move stuff off the couch so people can sit there. All right, you'll be covered. But we have just the resource. Talked about this a little bit during announcements. This study, Living the Five. This is very good for starting a new group. This is kind of basics. It's like I said, what is it to be a Christian? And these are great. Chapter titles, 5 weeks. Can't do life alone. Growing people, change. In fact, there's a nice video that outlines this. We were going to show it at announcements, but we had a technical glitch. You could have seen the authors talking, but not heard them. I think that would have limited the effectiveness of the clip. So, but I'll send that out, a link in the weekly email. Maybe we can show it next week if we get that working. It's a good study. It's a good study. And there'll be more to follow. Really, the commitment that I'm asking you to make, if you feel this tug, is to take the kid. Think about who you might gather. The first kickoff message for this is 3 weeks from today, the 29th. It'd be good if you meet the week before. You got an opportunity to say to the group, hey, let's hear what the pastor has to say the week coming. Or if you feel like you might need more material, your first meeting could be after the first time preaching on that particular time. So grab the resource, gather the people, and then it's a 5-week commitment. It's like if it doesn't go well, I'm hoping at the end of 5 weeks, you're thinking, I love this group. You know, but if you don't really like the group, let them go. You know, let them go, and you can do it again. You can start another group the next time around. But you know, if you think, man, this group's got potential. I like being with these people. We'll have another study right on the heels of this first one that you all can do, or you can roll your own and go off the board and do a different study. Well, that's my invitation this morning. It's a new year. Do something that you have never done before, many of you. Pick up one of these resources. We ordered a bunch of these. Pick one up. I'm hoping we run out this morning, because they got more. And we'll have them here for next week. You'll find the book, you'll find the DVDs. You can start checking it out. Keep praying about who God might have you to invite. When you take this also, there's a card in the front of the book, a home contact form. I invite you to fill that out, because we're going to be praying for you as you are considering this and embarking on this journey. And we want to be there to support you. So there's a basket out there. Fill the slip out and leave that for us.